Welcome to the deep dive. So, today we're jumping straight into the NEET 2025 exam. It just wrapped up.
That's right. Fresh off the press, basically.
Exactly. And we know how much pressure and, well, hard work goes into this. So, we want to give you the kind of initial reactions, the first analysis without all the noise.
Yeah, cut through the overwhelm. We've been looking at feedback specifically from Educon.ds, students sharing their thoughts right after walking out.
Right. Gives us a good first pulse, doesn't it?
It really does, a snapshot of those immediate feelings.
Okay, so the mission here is to pull out those key first thoughts,
Right.
difficulty, subjects, the main stuff.
Let's do it.
So first big thing, it sounds like the overall feeling is NEET 2025 was tougher, a bit harder than last year, NEET 2024.
That's definitely the headline, yeah. The consensus seems to be a slight, maybe noticeable step up in difficulty compared to 2024.
Okay, so not just one or two people saying that.
No, it seems
Wow.
pretty widespread from the initial feedback we're seeing.
All right, let's dig into the subjects. Physics. Hearing a lot about physics.
Oh, yeah. Physics is definitely the section getting the most comments about being challenging.
What kind of challenging? Like calculations, concept?
Both, it seems. Feedback points to, numerical problems that weren't just plug and play. They required a deeper understanding.
Right, not just recalling formulas.
Exactly. And conceptual questions that really made students think, apply principles in maybe less familiar ways,
Yeah.
pushing beyond rote learning.
Okay. And then biology, usually seen as, well, maybe more predictable.
Well, that's where things got interesting this year. The feedback suggests biology landed more in the moderate, even moderate to tough range for quite a few students.
Oh, really? That is a shift.
It is. And apparently there were some new question patterns introduced, things that maybe looked a bit different.
Ah, so that could definitely catch you off guard if you're expecting the usual format.
Precisely. It sort of required a different way of thinking, even for a subject students often feel strong in. Shows the exam keeps evolving.
Okay. And chemistry, did it follow the trend or?
Chemistry seems to have been more stable, generally reported as moderate difficulty, so maybe more in line with expectations overall.
But were there any, tricky parts within chemistry?
Yes, specifically physical chemistry. Heard quite a few mentions of surprises there. So even within that moderate difficulty, there were definitely some curveballs thrown in.
Right. So nowhere was completely straightforward, perhaps.
It underlines that need for really solid prep across everything, doesn't it? You can't assume any section will be easy.
Absolutely. Now, this is crucial, I think. If lots of students found it tougher, that's actually important for you, the listener, to hear, right? It wasn't just you struggling with a question.
Exactly. That's a vital point. This feeling of increased difficulty was, it seems, a shared experience.
So what does that mean practically? For scores, for ranks?
Well, it suggests the results, the cutoffs, they'll likely adjust accordingly. Your performance is always relative to everyone else who took that same paper on that same day.
Right. It's graded on a curve, essentially, even if not explicitly stated that way. The relative difficulty matters.
It does. So take a breath on that front.
Okay, so the exam's done. It's in the rearview mirror now. What should you be doing? Stressing about the OMR sheet?
Definitely not. Please don't. That sheet is filled, it's submitted. Worrying won't change a single bubble.
So what's the advice then?
Breathe. Seriously, relax. You've earned it after months, maybe years of intense focus. Get some rest, reconnect with family and friends.
Yeah, decompress. That's essential.
Absolutely. Your well-being matters right now.
And let's also keep some perspective here. This one exam, NEET 2025. It's huge, we know that, but it's not the only way to become a doctor.
That's such an important reminder. There are many paths. Government colleges, private colleges here in India, even options abroad.
Your whole medical career aspiration doesn't hang solely on this one result.
Not at all. That drive, that desire to heal and care, it can find its way through different avenues. Don't let this exam define everything.
And, the qualities that make a good doctor, passion, patience, dedication, resilience, those aren't just measured by marks. The fact that you got through the prep, you sat for this exam, that says a lot about those qualities already.
That's right. Think about those inherent strengths you have. What truly drives you towards medicine? It's often much deeper than just exam scores.
Okay, so looking forward, what are the next concrete steps?
Well, first is the wait for the official answer keys, then results. And after that, it's the counseling process.
Which can be pretty complex to navigate.
It can be. And that's where getting good information and maybe some personalized guidance like from places like Educon.ds can be really helpful, making informed choices.
Right. So that's on the horizon.
But for now,
For now, unwind. Remember, your journey to becoming a doctor is ongoing. This exam is just one part of it, whatever the outcome.
yeah, prioritize your health, stay calm while you wait.
And maybe here's a final thought to leave you with. Those challenges you faced in the exam hall. That tough physics question, that weird biology pattern. Think about it this way. Maybe tackling those difficulties, that struggle, maybe that's part of the process.
How so?
Well, maybe overcoming those challenges, even if imperfectly, helps build the exact skills, the problem solving, the thinking under pressure, the resilience that you'll absolutely need as a doctor. It wasn't just an obstacle. Maybe it was, in a way, part of the training itself.
That's a really powerful way to frame it. The challenge itself is preparation.
Something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us.